divine light of the self. Today, let us contemplate on chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita titled Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana is an important spiritual practice. Sri Krishna outlines the qualification which is required for Dhyana Yoga. For Dhyana Yoga, for meditation, first Shravana is required. You have to listen to the truths. Okay. So that she has told in last chapter Bhagavad Gita, how you have to go to a master and surrender to the master and receive the wisdom from the master. Shravana is the essential part of Dhyana. Shravana, Manana, understand that. Then Nididhyasa or contemplate on that and get established in the truth. So this involves this is actually a process. This is a part of the Dhyana Yoga process. So the mind which is going out has to be withdrawn. Senses are outgoing. Senses have a nature of going out towards sense objects. You have to take the mind inwards and move towards the self. Establish the mind in the nature of the self, Atma. To establish in Atma, you have to understand what is self. You have to get Atma Jnana. To get a clarity in that, then the mind has to get established in the self. This is the process of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. So to do this, most of the people have to practice Karma Yoga. Okay, do selfless service because the mind has full of impressions. Because we keep on doing selfish activities, mind becomes our chitta becomes impure, and lot of impressions are created. These impressions force the person to go out, force the mind to go out. If you close the eyes, suddenly some thought comes and mind moves outwards. So there's some clarity and purity has to develop in the mind. Okay, for that the only way is to do Karma Yoga. Do actions without attachment to the fruits of action. Do action as a devotional service. In the process, the mind gets purified. Sri Krishna says, the mind alone is responsible for your downfall. Mind alone is responsible for your upliftment. Right? Ultimately, mastering your mind is your responsibility. Okay. How do you master the mind? The mind has two parts. One is a lower part mind and a higher mind. Higher mind is called buddhi or intellect. The lower mind is full of desires and impressions. And this lower part of the mind is what goes outwards. Okay. So using the intellect, which is sharpened by Shravana, understanding the truth, it becomes pure. So this intellect should be used to control and master the lower mind. So that mind moves inwards towards the self. And when you do that, there is a process, you have to follow a process of meditation. You should sit in a place which is isolated, where there's very little disturbance. Sit comfortably. Sit with your back straight. Take your eyes to the Bhrumadhya or the position of the Ajna chakra at the center of the forehead. Take the mind inwards, recollecting the truth Master has told about the self, Atman. So the mind has to be focused on the self. The meditation has to be continuous. So the mind gets absorbed in the self. How the meditation should be? The nature of meditation should be like the when you pour the ghee, it's a continuous stream. Like that, the mind should be focused on the self as a continuous stream. Mind has to be absorbed in the self. So once the mind gets absorbed in the self, the yogi experiences extreme bliss, supreme bliss. Attaining that bliss, yogi doesn't desire anything. He becomes free from any other desire because he has attained the supreme bliss. So this is the process of dhyana. Now the question, Arjuna gives a question. The mind is so fickle. It is like wind. How to hold the mind and how focus on a subject? So Sri Krishna says, mind is indeed fickle. Mind is indeed like wind. But it is possible by abhyasa, means practice. Slowly, slowly, practice little, little, little. Okay. And gain the mastery. You have to put effort. Initially, you require effort. Put effort and repeated practice will bring the mind under control. The lower mind is brought under the control of the higher mind. It is difficult, but not impossible. But if you understand the benefits of meditation, you will do that. So the one who meditates, he is actually superior to a person who has just a jnana. Then many people may have a jnana, okay, jnana about self, but ultimately realization has to happen through contemplation and meditation. So yogi is superior to person who has just jnana. Okay. Tapasvi means there are people who are tapasvis who do intense spiritual practices. For example, somebody does the fasting for several days. Somebody goes on a yatra. A yogi, a person who meditates, is superior to all these people because he is able to go inwards and experience the bliss of the self directly. Okay. Such a yogi sees the self in all and all in self. Right. So right now, the person who is not a yogi, his vision is all are different individuals. Okay. Myself is different from yourself. Okay. A yogi who has attained the higher consciousness in meditation sees self in all and all in self. That means self is all pervading. So that he realizes. And he is not elated by joyful situations, not depressed by unhappy situations. He has equanimity in all circumstances. And he attains the supreme bliss. Now the Arjuna has a question. Yeah, from what you say, it looks very complicated. The mind is so fickle and you have to master the mind. Suppose somebody dies before attaining that all the fruits of meditation, fruits of yoga, what will happen to him? And Sri Krishna says, don't worry. The momentum you gained in meditation, the momentum you gained in sadhana will not go anywhere. From next life, immediately you will get a birth in a place which is conducive for meditation, conducive for spiritual practices, so that you will attain the fruits of your sadhana in next life. So there are many yogis, okay, who are at a very young age attain wisdom. Sri Ramana Maharshi, at the age of 18, he went through a death experience and realized the truth. Okay, so we can say Ramana Maharshi had done sadhana, all sadhana in last life. All that he was some pending up portion, he continued this life. Okay, like that, a person who has done some sadhana in any life, in past life, his sadhana will not go waste. Next life, he'll get a place and position and a birth which will be conducive to realization. So Sri Krishna assures Arjuna that yes, it's difficult to do meditation, but it's worth doing it. Practice it. Let us all contemplate on the spiritual truths. Listen to the spiritual truths through Shravana. Understand these, internalize the truth, and meditate and contemplate on the truth, Nididhyasa. Through this process, let us attain that supreme bliss of the self.